Sammy Baugh, though 36 years old and with 15 seasons of full competition behind him, gives no signs of nearing the end of his amazing career.
Art Monk is now number one, the most prolific pass receiver in the National Football League's history. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
This is Harry Hog Football, the original Redskins Fans podcast. On today's show, we talk about the game between the Washington Redskins and the Minnesota Vikings, the Dan Snyder news from the week, this,
on today,
and much more live with Aaron and John.
Dude, there's a Dan Snyder story every day.
There's so many Dan Snyder stories that it's ridiculous, dude.
Yep.
Yo, hold on, I gotta finish my obligatory yo. What's up, John?
What's up?
Excellent.
Welcome to Harry Hog Football, episode 564. Go. You were saying?
About what?
I don't know. I interrupted you to do our obligatory things.
Oh, you're good.
Oh.
No, we're good. We're going to talk about this game. I guess we'll talk about the latest Dan Snyder boondoggle stuff. He can't sell the team fast enough. He just can't sell the team fast enough. He's DC Attorney General filed a civil suit against him, and the NFL and Roger Goodell and the NFL. So all the other 31 owners are all mixed into this thing now legally.
Yep.
Like those owners have to be mad because it's not like Dan Snyder's the only one that has skeletons in his closet. Give me a big bowl of popcorn. I'm just gonna sit here and be like,
dude, the other ones are like, the other owners are just sitting around like, why are you bringing us into this? That's going to make them mad. Now they're really going to vote him out. Like, people in our chat room were like, well, that wasn't as big a bombshell as I thought it was going to be. It's all piling on. And once the NFL starts kicking him out or wants him out, the other owners, he's done.
well, the big thing here, it doesn't matter that they want to charge him for whatever civil case in DC, blah, 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 blah. The fact there is a lawsuit that includes the NFL and Roger Goodell, who maybe get fired long-term, may get fired because of this. Mm-hmm. There's a lawsuit naming all these people. And this is exactly what Roger Goodell has tried not to happen. And that's why they've been colluding, which is what the DC guy says, the Attorney General. That's why they've been colluding to keep all this information from getting out there. So this whole thing from the Attorney General of DC, this whole thing is to get that information from Lisa Banks and Wilkinson. Yeah, Wilkerson.
Wilkerson.
I need to look it up. This is to get that private stuff, all that stuff that they were talking about, that the NFL colluded and didn't even freaking release it.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of getting all this stuff. That and getting all the other owners. All their hands are in this now, man. So,
yeah.
This could blow up into some huge proportion because this is only the first one. We've got the Virginia Attorney General. We've got the Eastern District of Virginia, the federal Attorney General, or the federal whoever it is of that area. I don't even know. We got a bunch
of generals and commanders.
We got generals all over the place trying to keep these commanders in line.
He's gone, dudes. He is so gone.
Yeah, I had heard recently that they want him to sell, or he wants to sell before or buy the meeting in March for the owners. He may lose the team before the end of the season. The NFL may have to take over the team.
Yay!
Which would be awesome.
Dude, if I was Dan Snyder, I'd be selling as quickly as possible, getting my $7 million, and then going and cruising out in the ocean on my mega yacht before I can get arrested. That's what I'd be doing.
For this lawsuit today, you can't get arrested because it's a civil case, not a criminal case. So it's all about the money.
Yeah, but if this civil case goes through, couldn't it lead to some criminal cases from these people if their information actually gets out?
Exactly.
Like the dude today kept talking about, I listened to it on YouTube thanks to Kenny Ken giving me the link.
Thanks, Kenny Ken.
The whole thing the dude was like, there's all these people that were urging to go and almost basically saying, go get a criminal case. You know what I mean? Like, go try to tell your story and get this information out there. But they're doing basically all they can do because they can't do criminal cases. Apparently, I don't know anything.
Well, he can't because it's DC, and DC is also weird. Taxation without representation, all that stuff.
It's just a weird place.
It's just weird. It's just a weird place, District of Columbia.
All I know is that Dan's in trouble, and now
he is in trouble, and
now the
other owners are pissed.
It's basically like when someone gets caught doing something bad, and they're like, "Well, he was with me." Like now they're pulled in,
and you're like, "Dude, shut up."
Yeah, now they're pulled into it, and they're not going to be happy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because like I said, and I think all you guys out there know this, it's not like Dan Snyder's the only guy who may or may not be breaking laws allegedly about a whole lot of stuff. I mean, I started reading stuff today, like they were talking about like ladies of the night that were on in like Dan Snyder, like one was in his room and came out of the room, and Dan Snyder left in the bathrobe and all this stuff.
What?
I was just like,
this is all
the stuff that we're going to be hearing during this thing. This whole thing, this whole Wilkinson Lisa Banks thing that we never got to hear about. I can't wait to hear all the stuff because it's going to be so popcorn, man.
Dude, but you know what? If Dan Snyder's gone, I don't want to hear any about that stuff. I just want to focus on football and the new team and let them handle that stuff in court, and hopefully he gets what's coming to him. But I don't want to hear about it anymore. I want us to have a normal team where we can watch football and think about our owner doing something actually good for the team as opposed to every day. That whole Brian, what was that statement?
What was that? Talking about Brian Robertson in that in the whole thing.
Dude, had nothing to do with it. Brian Robinson getting shot has nothing to do with the Attorney General of DC investigating you for all your sexual misconduct and holding people's season ticket money. And
which, by the way, people are getting their people from like the early 2000s, from the aughts, are getting their season ticket refunds right now, like today, like in the mail.
Dude, I was
like multiple. I've been hearing about this all today too.
Dude, if I got one, I'd be like, "What? I never got this money back." But here's the thing, dude.
I can't even remember if we did get money back from way back in the day. I have no idea.
I don't either. But here's the thing. Say it was only I was talking to Suzanne about this. Say it was only like $100 deposit per seat, and 50,000 people did that every year. 50,000 times 100 is what? 500,000? Is that right? So.
Oh, are you asking me for math?
Yeah. You know my math is
50,000
times 100.
Wait, add 2 zeros and you have 5 million.
What?
So it's 5 million.
5 million. Okay, if that's $5 million, and he took that from everyone that had season tickets, every year, and then starting like in the early 2000s, that dude made a ton of whatever he was investing that in, probably at least at 5% a year. He needs to be coughing up some interest on that.
Coughing up that dough. Yeah, exactly. Interest from that time.
He basically defrauded they're saying he defrauded DC residents. Is that what they're saying here with this case?
They're saying that people were defrauded. I don't know. I don't even want to go into it anymore.
He did something bad.
They can all jump out a window and all I care. Just get rid of Dan Snyder and have fun going through the rest of the owners and with Roger Goodell, who's going to get fired. I'm telling you now, he's going to get fired.
All because of they wouldn't get rid of Dan Snyder. They tried
little Danny.
Yeah, that whole thing with bringing Brian Robinson into it makes no logical sense to me whatsoever. Like, you need to go do your jobs and like catch the dudes that are shooting our players instead of investigating me and all my long-term
that's
problems and ripping people off and
right. Exactly. Yeah. He's just really mad because he's about to get caught for all this rich person stuff. He's about to, that a lot of rich people do, but he's going to get caught for it.
But dude,
he's going to get in trouble.
He's saying that, but didn't he just say that after last week we heard that they've made 2 arrests in the case?
Yeah. They've already arrested a couple people.
So what's his point?
17-year-old and somebody else. Exactly, dude. Exactly.
Did he not hear the news? Does he not care? Oh, I didn't realize they actually caught someone.
Well, dude, even what's his face? Jason Wright. I keep forgetting his name because he's about to get fired too.
He's gonna be the patsy.
Even he's kind of dividing the line, like slightly stepping back from this whole thing. So,
dude, he's trying damage control the only way he can, and I feel sorry for that guy, But he knew what he was getting into.
Hopefully he's updating his resume. Hopefully anyone who is still working at Redskins Park is updating their resume because everyone. I mean, it's not going to happen tomorrow, but at the end of the season, and all this stuff comes together, whether Dan Snyder sells or it gets taken away from him and sold and the money given to him or whatever they're going to do with the NFL, whatever they're going to figure out.
And what was up with Jason Wright saying, it was the external counsel that sent that letter last night?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah. He was trying to distance himself.
Dude.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. I think he was saying the difference between Dan Snyder's lawyers and the Washington Commanders' lawyers
are two different things.
Lawyers.
They're not different. They're all the same. And why does he have to have so many lawyers? Because he's bad.
He's a bad man.
Oh, I can't stand him. I can't stand him. What is that from? Some old movie, right?
I think it was from Singing in the Rain, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was that girl who was in because the lead girl or the first lead girl was like was in silent movies, but she talked like this. So they started like putting sound in movies, and they were like, we can't have her talk. She sounds terrible.
And I can't stand him.
I can't stand him.
I'm gonna get that sound.
Can't.
I'm gonna get that sound bite. Good morning. Good morning. You know what? The day that Dan Snyder's gone, I'm gonna be playing. Good morning. Good morning. Dance the whole day through. Good morning. Good morning to you.
And you, Commanders fans, and you. All right, let's talk about the game. I'm tired of talking about those little Danny stuff. Let's talk about the game, the horrible game. Taylor Heineke had a terrible game.
Oh, look, I got the stats. I think I figured out where I can actually pull them up. Watch. See if it works. Click this button.
Oh,
here we go.
Oh.
All right.
What's that ad for? Fishing line?
No, that's 3D printer plastic.
Oh, okay.
Because Google knows all about me. They know that I have a 3D printer, so that apparently pops up.
Right.
And apparently they know that I go to Home Depot too, because that's popping up. Anyway, yeah, there's his stats right there. You can see him. Taylor Heineke was 15 of 28 for only 149 yards. 2 touchdowns and 1 pick. Pedestrian day at best. And that pick was horrible.
Yeah. Dude, that pick was so bad. And I mean, Taylor Heineke's only rated like 3 points behind Kirk Cousins in QBR rating. But I mean, Kirk just outplayed him. Taylor was like, all right, look, we're starting to get into the same position that we got with Taylor at the end of last year. You've got to run him more. And more than last year, you got to get him outside. You got to give him the little right or left, probably right, because Charles Leno, the left tackle, could not stop. He couldn't catch cold. He couldn't stop anybody.
Mm-hmm.
He was just getting bull rushed over and over, just backed right up into him. And Heineke it was one of those games he couldn't really, he was having trouble running. And then, like you said, like once a game, he just has a horrible, horrible pick, and you're just like,
it was a replay of the one from the Colts. There's like 4 dudes around on the other
And
team,
dude-
and then the ball comes right to one of them.
And don't forget, he had 149 yards passing, but half of that was that YOLO ball, the Curtis Samuel, where the ref took out the guy that was about to pick the ball.
The touchdown where he didn't even get touched.
That was half his yardage right there. So Taylor had a terrible game.
Dude, that
man.
was in triple coverage, and then the ref took the dude out,
Well,
like you said. He interfered.
And that dude was the one that was coming in to take the pick.
Yeah. Well,
Like the other 2 guys were like covering him, but he was the one that was going to be in front. The ball was going to go right to him, and the referee just took him right out.
Which is awesome. I loved it. I'm sure the Vikings fans were so mad. And then when he didn't get touched, I bet they were even more mad.
Man.
Yeah.
They won in the end, though. They won. Kirk Cousins, and that shirtless picture of him like dancing on the airplane, extreme right guy, like dancing on the airplane with a bunch of chains around his neck.
Dude, without that catch, I'm just looking here. Let's see. Without that catch,
it was a 49-yard catch, so he would have thrown for exactly 100 yards.
Yeah, 100 yards without that.
Yeah, that's it. I don't think his QBR would be at 77.8 or whatever it says on ESPN.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little good for a minute. Our defense was destroying Kirk Cousins. I don't know how he even made it through that game.
I don't either. You know why? Because of all these crazy rules they have where you can't hit a quarterback high, you can't hit a quarterback low, you can't barely hit a quarterback in the middle.
But we didn't get any penalties. Are you just saying they weren't hitting him as hard as they would have in the 80s? Because we know that he wouldn't have made it through the game then.
I mean, dude, when you take a guy down, you can't land on him. You have to peel off to the side so you're not throwing your entire weight on the guy. You don't want them to pee out of their diapers when you throw them on the ground.
Quarterback hits. Let's see. I'm going to try to count them here.
Well, how many? We only had Danny Johnson's the only person that had a sack, but we hit him so many times.
It said we have 11 quarterback hits. Seemed like
one sack, but
2 sacks.
I believe it, dude.
2 sacks.
2 sacks. Who was the other one?
St. Just.
Right.
And Deron Payne.
And Johnson. I'm looking at the wrong. I am looking at the wrong stat. My bad. Yeah, Deron Payne. Yeah. Jonathan Allen didn't have a sack, but boy, there was one point where he really leveled him. Like I thought he was going to get a penalty for roughing the passer on that one.
Everyone was hitting him. So he only got hit 15 times. Why did it seem like he got hit so many more times than that?
It did. It sure did.
It said they got 3 sacks on us and 7 quarterbacks hits. So they got a good amount too. But, Danny Johnson had that pick, and I was like, I didn't even know he was on the team.
He got that pick, and that's another thing.
You're like, Danny Johnson? Danny Johnson?
I knew he was on the team. I knew he was on the team because we got no one else to replace these guys.
Sure you did. Sure
Jeremy Reeves is on there too. Jimmy Reeves.
Let's take a quick second to say hello to the people in the peanut gallery today, and that is Shanny, DJ Cool 4, Ian 28, Nightwing 19's not in there. That's everyone that's in there, probably because it's a Thursday.
Yeah, we had to push it back a little bit this week.
Have you heard any actual team news this week? Because all I've heard is Dan Snyder stuff. I never went back and watched the game again because I was super depressed. I thought we had this game won, actually. Then we just blew it. It was the reverse of the Colts game. Reverse.
10 points in the fourth quarter, and we blew it, dude. We totally blew it.
Heineke
and don't forget, blew it. Exactly, Ridgeway, the Dallas spy, man. That guy should have been cut that night. Cut! Just another reason why Ron Rivera is just. He's just not a great coach. He's a mediocre coach. He has mediocre years every year.
I think if someone comes in and buys the team,
everyone's fired.
I would be happy if every single person got fired.
That's what's going to happen. I mean, Ron Rivera and all his coaching staff, except for maybe plucking a couple guys out of there, the Martys, Jason Wright, everybody's going to get fired. Everybody.
I hope there's one person I think they should keep because I've noticed a marked improvement since he arrived. Ryan Kerrigan.
The real number 91.
Yeah, not Ridgeway.
Not Ridgeway.
Why are they letting this Ridgeway guy wear Kerrigan's jersey anyway?
And he's there. Is that like the only jersey that's available?
No, it's not.
You know the number in like the 50s.
All right, let's talk
40s.
Let's talk
50s.
about Cowboy Ridgeway's contributions in this game. Going by a stat line right here. Let's see here. Mm-hmm. There he is. He's at the bottom of it. You know why he's at the bottom of it?
I'm so mad at this guy.
Because Ron Ridgeway had, guess what? What is that? 1 tackle. 1 tackle. But you know what his biggest contribution was? 1 stupid penalty to let the Vikings run out the clock.
Sure did. Like it gave us, I think, 12 seconds at the end of the game. Look at this picture now. It looks like a total tool.
We would have had 2 minutes down by 3, right? Just about. Almost 2 minutes down by 3 if he didn't have that penalty. And that's pretty much how Heineke was able to bring us back the week before, but he didn't get a chance this time, thanks to Ridgeway. Also, What was up with Ron Rivera wasting timeouts? In the second half? I do not understand, dude. Yeah. Explain this to me. And
I can't, because the last coach we had, Jay Gruden, did the exact same stuff every week. And I can't understand why these coaches can't call timeouts and can't throw the red flag for challenges normally, can't call timeouts normally. They're 2-minute clocks and their heads are completely screwed. And Rob Rivera was a linebacker, middle linebacker, and Jay Gruden was a quarterback. Why can't they do this?
And then the thing that blows my mind is if there's been multiple times when there's been a questionable call, and instead of challenging it to say, hey, it was a very questionable call, can we get the benefit of the doubt out of this? They don't challenge it. They just call a timeout. If you're going to use the timeout anyway, just challenge it.
Can you do that?
Why not?
I guess you're right. I was thinking, if you're going to go ahead and challenge, if you were going to go ahead and if you were the one that wants to challenge, then you can totally do that. You're right. Yeah.
But instead, it's a play where I forget what it was this week, but I was like, are you sure about that? And then instead of challenging, it was a spot or something. And instead of challenging, he just calls a timeout. Well, you might as well have challenged it because you might have saved the timeout and got a timeout and got a play and got a favorable call. They don't think about these things.
And it's over and over again. I mean, are other coaches of other teams, do they do this too?
You know what I just think sometimes? The football coaches just aren't that smart.
Well, I mean, Ron Rivera has probably hit his head and had a ton of concussions in his career.
I mean, but sometimes I think they're just not that smart.
Yeah.
I mean,
your middle linebacker and your quarterbacks are like 2 of the smartest people on the team. Those are the guys with the dots on the back of their helmets and the ones that get the plays and give them to everybody. What's going on, Ron? Well, I mean, his mother did die at the beginning of last week as well. So that's probably on his mind somewhat, but it's not like this has been like it was the first game. It's every single game, everyone over and over and over again.
I was disappointed in this one because I thought we should have won it. I mean, we didn't play great, but we played good enough to win that game. Except for 2 plays, Ridgeway and Heineke's interception. I mean, we were up by 10. All we needed to do was 9 minutes. All we needed to do is get a few first downs, and they wouldn't have had time to score twice in a row.
Yeah. Yep.
But nope.
No, sir.
Heineke had other ideas. What else?
They need to run Heineke more. They need to make him run more. That's part of his game. He can't throw that well. He needs to run more. Just figure stuff out and make him slide. He's not RG3.
Yeah.
They
roll him out, let him run, because he can't stand in there and throw passes like Wentz. He's too short. He had 12 of them knocked down. Some of those dudes just stopped trying to rush and just stood there and waited for him to throw it and just put their hands up. How many tip balls did he have in this game?
And if he throws long, it's not like it's not like he's throwing a bullet 40 yards down the field. It's like, whoop, and he throws it, and it just takes a long time when you see it, and it's not going to go like it's not going to have a lot of velocity going through the air and everything like that. So those guys, it's maybe an extra quarter of a second, but they're just like, hey, sure, and they block it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's part of the job for defensive linemen is to stick your hands up.
Yeah, back to our defensive line though. You were talking about Jonathan Allen, how he didn't have any sacks, but he had
a great game. I can't believe he didn't have sacks.
4 quarterback hits, dude.
Yeah.
2 tackles for loss. I mean,
he was awesome.
Yeah.
He's exactly what we expected when we signed him to that contract. Speaking of, dude, Deron Payne's contract ends at the end of the year.
I was thinking about bringing this up.
Yeah. I mean, he's having a contract year.
We're not going to be able to re-sign him, dude.
We can't re-sign him and re-sign Sweat and re-sign Young, really. Although Young's going to be a couple of years.
We got 2 more, I think, for him.
So
I don't think we can re-sign him. We should have done it last year. I still don't understand why we let all those dudes go. Ioannidis.
We didn't let them
Settle.
go. They left on their own.
Well, we didn't try to re-sign
people keep
them.
saying that. Dude, they didn't want to stay in Washington. I keep saying that to people. They don't want to stay in Washington. Good coaches don't want to coach in Washington. Good people don't want to work for the Washington football team. Redskins, Commanders, whatever they are called this week. No one wants to work for them.
Well, they might next year.
They keep saying the coaches are doing this. Coaches are doing that. He's probably doing everything possible. Good people don't want to go there.
They might next year, dude.
They absolutely will once we have a new owner.
Oh, yeah, especially when Jay-Z and Jeff Bezos and Matthew McConaughey buy the team. It's all right.
All rappers want to be football players, and all football players want to be rappers. Or basketball players. Do that too.
And actors.
Oh, yeah, and actors like Jamie Foxx in that commercial with Kevin Garnett.
So apparently,
Kevin Garnett's a good actor.
According to TMZ, they got some footage of Jeff Bezos and Jay-Z having a private dinner at some restaurant that was closed down just for them.
Really? Like
you didn't
Tom
see this?
Cruise got married and closed down the entire whatever Hawaiian island he was on?
No, this was just some fancy restaurant that was.
It was
already closed on like Mondays or Tuesdays, and they opened it just for these guys to have their meal, and then they were apparently there for a couple hours discussing.
Well, I mean, who was that basketball guy? Kevin Durant putting his name out there as again, just like Jay-Z kind of being the front person. Although Jay-Z's, I mean, is he a billionaire? I'm sure he and Beyonce are together.
Said he is worth $1.5 billion.
Man.
And then Shanny saying we need my cousin Dale Jr.
That's more than a 1% thing, man. That guy could buy like 10, 20%.
Dale Jr. needs to put some money in. Get in there too.
Yeah, dude.
He could represent
Dale
the
Jr.
fans. He's not going to mess around. My cousin.
Dale Jr. would be fantastic because that's exactly right. He would be the spokesperson to be like he just tell it as it is. John Henry, the guy who owns the Red Sox and Liverpool Football Club, is said that he is apparently looking at it.
I read that.
He's also selling Liverpool.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he's going to get in excess of $2 billion for that.
So he'll get a couple bills, so he can be able to buy like 30%, Jay-Z like 20%, Jeff Bezos, the other 50%. There you go.
Yeah, man. The owner or the fans of the Boston Red Sox really like him as the owner. They had their big renaissance where they're the 4 World Series the first time back since before Babe Ruth played for him.
And
Liverpool won the championship 2 years ago.
And don't forget, our team started in Boston.
Yes, they did. Yes, it did. I was thinking about that too.
So he could own the.
Maybe John Henry's family was like a Boston Redskins fan back in the day. His great grandfather, or his great grandfather, really.
They need to
I don't know. He's kind of old. It's probably his dad.
I want to hear an offer on the table by tomorrow. Come on, billionaires. What are you doing? Get off your yacht. Make a few phone calls. Make this thing happen.
I think people are kind of sitting back a little bit to see exactly with their own bowls of popcorn, just seeing what's going on with all this stuff. Because, I mean, if the NFL starts getting in trouble and other people get in trouble, is that going to make the value go up?
Down.
Is that going to make the volume go down?
That's what I was thinking today. When that whole AG thing happened with Dan Snyder, I was like, if it doesn't do anything to you civil, this case never even, wins or whatever, if they don't get you on this, the value of your team just went down because you need to get out from this bad publicity.
Yep.
And they have to be
every
like,
lawsuit
I've got
that shows up. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it was just your brand recognition. When your brand recognition has a value to it, and when you're getting smeared all over the press, that brand recognition is going down the toilet. You're worth less, dude. Your team's worth less than it was. Well, it's not. I don't understand it.
I have
it's
no
not
idea
worth
why
less
it's
than it was 20, but as far as prestige, it's worth way less than it was 20 years ago when he bought it.
Yeah.
But anyway, what else do we want to talk? We got to talk about this game. I thought that even though he got burnt quite a bit, I thought Benjamin St. Juice actually played pretty good against Jefferson, even though he put up over 100 yards on him. He had his moments.
So good though.
Yeah,
he did have his moments, and Jefferson is. I mean, he's one of the best.
Yeah,
he's definitely top 10, if maybe not like top 5, top 6 receivers.
Yeah. I know that St. Juice got burnt, but he had some good plays, and it's promising going forward in his career.
Yeah, I think so too, and I'm really glad they moved into a spot where he's not on the slot guy, and a bunch of bodies with this big, tall frame, like in a bunch of bodies bottling around like a bowling pin.
Yeah.
They've got him on the outside where he can do stuff.
Hey, look, CJack17 made it into the podcast. Welcome, CJack.
What's up? Welcome to the what is our tiny URL address? tinyurl.com/HarryHF.
That's correct, John.
And that is where people are hanging out who are Redskins fans, just hanging out.
Just hanging. We had a couple new people, like long-term listeners, join Discord this week. It was nice to see. Nightwing19 jumped in there. And who else? Who else jumped in there? It's been around quite a bit. I'm trying to remember his handle.
Jeff Watts 5150 was on Twitter with us before, if I'm not
Chris
mistaken.
Comerton's been around, but there was someone else.
I don't know. We got a couple people who have come back because they know the writing's on the wall.
Old Elric of Monotony has been hanging out. So welcome to those new guys in the chat room. And the old guys also. Let's talk a little bit about injuries. What's going on with Cole Holcomb? Because I kind of feel like we'd be a little bit better if he was back.
Well, as a matter of fact, both Cole Holcomb and Jahan Dotson practiced today.
Jahan? That's good too.
Jahan.
That's good news too. Remember, Jahan Dotson had a touchdown every week until he got injured.
Jahan Dotson did. Cole Holcomb, they're still holding out because his foot.
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
Like he's not going to play? Or he was just out today?
I would call him doubtful. I don't see it on here exactly what he is. Questionable. What was the other one? Probable they used to use?
They don't use that anymore? It's just questionable
now? Questionable, doubtful, or out.
Probable.
Used to be like 25, 50, 70, 75, 100, and now it's like 33, 66, done.
He's probable. I'm just going to start using probable. In fact, that's what I'm going to name this episode. Probable.
well, Chen in Nova Scotia is probably pretty happy that David Mayo is starting to participate again in practice with his hamstring. So he may be locked and loaded for Monday night's prime time matchup with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Dude, the Eagles are dead in the water. They don't stand a chance against us. They think they're all bad with their 8-0 record. And we're going to have Jahan back. I mean, when they played us, our defense didn't know what was up yet. And now they do, so... We need the good Taylor Heineke to show up, man. We need the good Taylor Heineke to show up. CJack17's talking about listening from 2008 when he added us to his iPod.
I remember him. He's been around for a while. Yeah.
Did you set us up to like automatically download from iTunes each week? When you had to plug your phone your iPod into your computer and let it sync up. He's like, it just synced.
You actually had to plug it in.
And it synced.
And it wasn't really that long ago.
Dude, back in the day, remember, it would take me like a half an hour just to upload our audio-only podcast. It would take forever.
Yeah. And now it's like both of us are in separate locations, talking at the same time, audio and video. And most of the time, it more or less works.
And people in the chat room that we could literally bring on to the show if we want.
Yeah, man. People that can listen to it right away. People comment in our Discord channel about what's going on during the podcast live and ask questions about what's going on. It's pretty cool.
Remember,
DJ Cool 4 just said, remember we beat the last Pennsylvania team that was undefeated last year. Those somehow they were the 11-0 Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, and these dudes are just 8-0. And they think they can beat us? Psh, hardly, dudes. Hardly. Wait till you hear my precarious predictions.
All I have to say is that it's a division game.
Throw the records out the window, dude. Throw the records out the window. Also, are we going to have Chase back?
I do not know.
Well, his 21-day clock started last week, right? So we got like 2 weeks to figure out if he's going to play or he's going to be on IR.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone said anything to Ron today because he was trying to put out fires for little Danny. Again. Danny. But it sounds, they said having the extra day is going to hopefully help him figure out. I think it's just kind of 50-50, but I have a feeling he probably won't play until next week. So I'll be very surprised if he plays this weekend on Monday night, but I'll be very happy.
I hope he does. Because if we could, I've already said last week, if we could win one of these two games somehow, we're back in it. If we don't, it's not looking good.
Yeah.
Not looking good.
I love you guys, man.
Oh man, where is Will?
We haven't brought Will back into the fold. We need to @ him in Discord.
Yeah.
Will the 5th. @ Will the 5th. You know who was in here this week though? Sean,
who?
The 6th. I think he's coming back.
He is back. Everyone knows, man.
There.
Little Danny's days are numbered, dude.
Dan's gone. Come home.
Well.
Dude.
Oh, Josh.
He said he was going to come on this show tonight.
Because it's a day that ends in Y.
He didn't quite make it.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'll be on there. Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. I'll be on there. You want me to just pop in? You want me to just pop into the Discord room, or should I come on camera? And I was like, well, if you're gonna come on camera, you need to get here early so that we could actually make sure it's working.
And you know that's not gonna happen. like once or twice a season, I'll call in and be like, dude, I'm driving. I just left the gym.
I'm driving. Sorry, I'm down in a protein bar right now.
Sorry, I'm down in a protein bar.
Anyway. Let's see. John Ridgway. Let's just go ahead and go into our games and kicks, shall we?
We might as well.
Unless you have something else you want to talk about. You know who was great in this game?
Tressway.
As always, but you know who else was great? Joey Sly.
I'm not surprised about that. You always hate the kickers, man. The kickers... Guys miss, man. Guys miss kicks sometimes. He's like better than average.
I didn't hate Mark Mosley. I didn't hate Chip Lohmiller.
Mark Mosley had a lower percentage. Yeah, you're right. You did hate Ali Hajashik, though.
I've hated pretty much every kicker since Chip Lohmiller.
By the way, when Mark Mosley won the MVP that year, he only had like, I don't know, an 83 or 79% like making the NFL, making kicks.
Well, that just shows you how bad the
Like-
rest of the NFL was.
And he was kicking straight on. He wasn't even like a soccer kicker. He was just like straight up.
Yeah, at least they knew how to spell his name correctly back then.
Yeah. That's another thing that would be nice. They won't have a bunch of guys that are like used to working at 7-Eleven that are coming in and being on the marketing team.
They just need to get
'Cause
rid
all
of the
those guys are
marketing
going to
team.
get fired.
Get rid of the marketing team. Just send
Well,
it,
that's gonna-
outsource it. If you have that in-house, get rid of it. Hire another agency because they suck.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They're bad.
The
It's got to be
marketing.
in-house. It's got to be in-house. How can they be that bad when if they're not in-house?
Yeah, they would have been fired years ago.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, we're going into it then. Let's see if it actually works today. Oh, we have to do game ball first. Okay.
And now, the coveted
There it is.
and ever elusive Game Ball Award.
Game Ball Award is brought to you by our newest sponsor, Dick's Pitch. It's why it sticks.
That's why it sticks.
Available at Dick's Sporting Goods and other fine sporting goods places.
Yeah. During that game, there were a couple guys who definitely had Dick's pitch. And there are a couple guys who definitely did not.
Yes. Some of them needed to re-dip at halftime.
Some of them need to redip. That's for sure.
They just have a bucket of that stuff. It's like, remember those things you used to get out of the vending machines? Like for 25 cents, and it was like the little rubber hand, and you could like throw it and like snatch something off of the table like a dollar. Like, but after like 5 minutes of playing with it, it had like so much like dust
So much
and
dirt on
nasty
it.
lint and crap on it, it wouldn't stick anymore. That's like the Dick's Pitch.
And dog hair.
Those things are nasty. But Bay would always get one and be like, hey, and he would like put $1 on the table and you'd go to reach for it and he would go, and of course he'd miss. You just pick the dollar up. Anyway, those guys are the same people that make Dick's Pitch, that makes those things.
Yeah.
And they'll get nasty after like a quarter and they have to re-dip them.
Gotta redip.
Redip the Dick's Pitch. Gotta redip. Anyway, game balls. I know who I'm giving mine to.
Go ahead. Go ahead and get yours in there.
I might change it. No, I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to give it to Curtis Samuel because he's just had a great year and he had another good game and like somehow pulled that ball down, had a couple good runs.
And got himself
correctly.
up and into the end zone and got the touchdown.
He
because
got up.
He didn't get touched by 3 guys.
How many
Three.
times do we
Three,
yell at
three.
dudes to get up and they never do when they're not touched? Get up!
Yeah. You do because you're always on that. I guess I do too, but yeah.
Get up!
Get up. You're not touched.
All right, you haven't even given your game ball and people are already jumping the gun.
You have to wait for the
Oh my gosh.
for the announcement.
There's only 3 rules in all of Harry Hog football. 1, no Dallas allowed. 2, don't talk politics. And 3,
Josh.
don't jump the gun on the game balls and kicks.
Obviously, those are 3 rules.
Those are the 3 rules. All right, go. Give yours, dude, before everyone in there gives it out for you.
Dude, my game ball goes to Deron Payne. Payne Train and Jonathan Olive they were killing it, man.
Pain Train. I'm going to miss him next year, dude.
Yeah, he's gonna sign somewhere for a lot of money. I mean, he is having your 100% contract year. This is the year he needs to step up, and he totally is. And he deserved it. It was a good game for him. The middle of the defensive line is stout.
Yep. It is. All right, so let's look at other people game balls. Object gives his to game ball to Jamin Davis.
That's Shanny.
Oh, let me refresh it because it's still a glitch.
DJ Cool 4 said St. Juice.
St. Juice, yeah, he seemed to have a great game, but then he got beat a lot, like we were saying. But yeah, he did have a great game. I think he's very promising, and he can be a solid player for a while. So yeah, I'm excited about him.
Dax Milne caught a touchdown.
Yeah, what about that? Dax Milne. He caught and it was more than a 4-yard reception, wasn't it? Because he's usually only good for 4 yards of play.
It was 6. It was 6-yard reception.
Whoop, whoop. My hat's off to you, sir. Great play. Isn't there something about him and Zach Wilson's mom's girlfriend or something? Cousin? Yeah, he had a great game for the most part. What are you laughing at? All right, so I think it's Ian 28's not giving one. So I think it's about time to
get a good game. Parts anyway.
Oh man, my back. I threw my back out this morning, if you guys didn't hear. Getting a coffee cup out of the cupboard.
You were doing a lot of physical labor before that though. You were moving like lights and stuff. Not like a light in the living room, like industrial lights.
All right.
It's time for this week's Kicking the Balls Award.
If it's up to me, there's a few people that stand out for this award this week.
Oh, there's only one for me.
That were directly involved with us losing. So go ahead. You can go first on this one.
Well, mine's going to Taylor Heineke because he had such a horrible game.
And that pick.
He really only threw for 100 yards, 1 touchdown, and that horrible pick.
That horrible pick. Well, that's a great segue, dude, because mine is going to Martin John Ridgway. For whatever that was, where he, dude, if you were on the field goal coverage team, you know there's like one thing you can't do: jump over the center. Everyone knows it, especially if you're in the middle of the line. You can't do it.
You can't.
You're telling me that's the first time he's lined up over the center, and like his special teams coach wasn't like, "Oh, dude, just so you know, you can't jump over like that." Especially in a critical place in the game.
Yeah. That's why I think if he was with Dallas's practice squad at the beginning of the year and we signed from there. God!
He played for Dallas. We always have a saying here. This is rule number 4. Once a Dallas player, always a Dallas player.
Hatcher.
Heineke may have had time to lead us back again, is all I'm saying.
Well, there's a very big difference between a minute 45 roughly and a timeout, or 12 seconds and no timeout.
Yes, because the week prior we had approximately the same thing.
Ron.
A minute and 45.
I just
he throws.
I don't get it. Jay Gruden was here for 6 years, wasn't he? And he never figured that out. A quarterback. I just don't get.
I don't either. Who are you guys giving your kicks to? You're free now. You can do it without
freedom of the kick.
You're free to give your kicks without being berated by me about
freedom
rules.
of the kick.
This is not Nam, dude.
There
are rules.
Pilar?
Let's see. Shanny. Yeah, we didn't even talk about B-Rob. But it's, to me, like B-Rob and AG have looked like they've kind of reversed what they did in preseason. Like, remember AG wasn't hitting holes, and all last year I'm like, he never finds the hole. He just like bounces around. Now he's just hitting the holes, and B-Rob's the dude that's kind of like dancing and being a little what's the word? the opposite. Just taking too much
He's
time.
not finding the holes.
He's
He's
just
taking too much time. Yeah. I think you're exactly right. And I'm sure that's what Shanny's thinking as well.
Yeah, that's what Shanny said. I just stole it from him.
There's he's too big to dance in the holes. He's more like a plow kind of guy, you know? Like you just need to bull rush and push people.
Okay.
I guess.
Just get in the
looking at
hole.
his size. Just find the holes, dude.
Just get
I
in
don't
there.
know. I mean, dude, we have to remember he got like shot twice a month and a half ago.
It's no excuse, dude.
Something like that. His life was flashing before his eyes, dude.
He's fine now, though. He might
His
have some
life was flashing
PTSD.
before his eyes.
I don't even know what that means, but he's okay now. I mean, the only thing that's bad about that shooting is that the AG is spending more time going after Dan Snyder than he is going against the thugs that shot Brian Robinson. I saw that on the press release. Yeah, B-Rob, yeah. I think that B-Rob is definitely second, has lost his starting job to AG again. Even though
absolutely.
I haven't looked at the official depth chart or anything.
It's third year for AG here in the pros, and it's the third year playing a running back after you played wide receiver in college, for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's really starting to show like he's really good at both of them in his third year, and that's a really promising thing.
Yeah.
But B-Rob just, I don't know. I think he's still, it might be in his head a little bit.
He's still finding his way.
He might be.
Also, he did sit out for like a month rehabbing an injury, so it's hard to get back into, dare I say, football shape immediately.
Yeah.
Especially as a rookie. Something smells like it's burning.
Oh, jeez, who knows what's You got two teenage kids in your house. Who knows what's going on? You better run and look now.
Well, the smoke alarm's not going off, so.
Yeah. There's no firemen running up your driveway.
That happened when you were here, didn't it?
I know.
Remember that guy, the big guy that was like 10 minutes later coming up?
Aaron's driveway is like a quarter mile long.
It's a half mile.
It's a half mile. And they ran up. Well, they started running up. By the time they got to us, they weren't running anymore because they were in like full gear.
So basically, we need to rewind here. The story starts like this. We were out enjoying the day with my kids. John was visiting. And we were out in the yard, like, I don't know, playing something like croquet or who knows what.
Yeah, something
Throwing
like that.
Throwing a ball around, something. And all of a sudden, we hear in the distance like sirens. And we're like, what is that? That sounds pretty close. And then we're just sitting there playing. And I live down a half-mile driveway into the woods. So these firemen in full gear come running down my driveway because they said they were afraid they wouldn't have a space to turn around the truck if they drove it back there. They come running down in full gear. We're just out there on like a sunny day throwing the ball. And they're like, is there fire? Is there fire? We're like, no.
Like, what were you going to do if there was a fire? Come inside the house? You don't have any water.
I know.
You don't have a hose.
Apparently, I had a fire alarm that's attached to my alarm system. Something went wrong with it. I don't know. We weren't cooking or anything.
We were looking at it or something.
But then like 10 minutes later, the last dude comes down. He's like,
the Hoss dude comes down.
The dude was like, it's like, dude, if there was a fire, you missed it. Because they put it out by now. And then I think he like laid down in the yard, like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, he showed up and like he's already taken off his like fireman's jacket. He just has like a white T-shirt on top and like fireman pants, and jacket's like hanging down with those big fireman suspenders are hanging down.
and then like the first guy that got there was all annoyed. He was like, "Well, can we at least take a look around and make sure there's not a fire?" And we're like, okay, but there's no fire, dude.
Yeah, we're like, it's not like there was a fire and we're like lying about it. There's no fire.
Anyway.
It's not like it's gonna sneak. It's not like it's sneaking around on the walls or anything or under the house.
It was like the nicest day.
It was nice, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, enough about that.
Oh my.
I think we should probably round this thing out. Should I go into my precarious?
Yeah, dude. Aaron's precarious predictions.
I'll keep my precarious short today.
Week 10.
It's not working. It's always something that doesn't work, right? Here, what happens if I hit this?
Is it week 9? Yeah, week 10.
Oh, wait, hold on.
You are?
I'm trying. All right. I don't know why the precarious prediction thing is not working. Remember last time it just randomly played? Like at the end? There it is.
There it is.
I got
it. Maybe it's just a really large file. It takes it a minute to load up.
I don't know. I'll try to figure this out. Aaron's precarious predictions. Wait, are we playing at home or are we playing in Philly?
We are playing at Philadelphia at the Lake at 8:15 Monday nights.
Too tired for that.
ESPN on ESPN, the magazine.
I gotta stay up for that. I mean, it's good for people like, Firefly, who are just gonna be getting up the next morning going to work.
Yeah, really.
All right, here's my prediction.
It's like the opposite of us watching European soccer here, because it's like 7 a.m. You're barely awake. You're just like, oh, soccer's on.
So we don't even know if Chase is playing because this really goes into my prediction. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to go out on a limb here. I was almost right last week. I missed it by I don't know, a couple touchdowns.
I have a feeling that Chase Young will not be back this week. He will not be back till next week.
Okay. Well, that's going to change my prediction. But I will tell you all you need to know. Jonathan Allen, 2 sacks, 6 quarterback hits in this game. Benjamin St. Juste will have 1 pick.
Sweet.
Jamin Davis will have a sack.
He's getting better and better. Notice will be better.
Jalen Hurts will be hurt by the end of the second quarter.
Oh.
His backup will come in, and his name is... I don't know who his backup is these days. We'll just go with Nick Foles. Nick Foles will come in and not do any better. Our offense will...
Bears? Is he? I have no idea.
Our offense is going to bounce back this week. And we are going to win this ball game by the score of, bear with me, I'm going to say 21. This is going to sound weird. 21-17. 21-17. 21-17 Washington on a defensive stand. Terry McLaurin is going to have a touchdown. And AG is going to have a touchdown. And the third one I'm going to give to...
Probably on Heineke. Heineke will run it in.
Heineke.
Because they're going to actually let him run.
Pylon. He's going to dive for the pylon. That's the 3 touchdowns. Heineke, AG, Terry McLaurin, mark it down 21-17 Washington. And Dan Snyder will sell the next morning to end a perfect weekend of football.
Mark it, dude.
Oh, Nolan.
By the way, the backup quarterback up there is Mr. George himself, Gardner Minshew II.
Well, he's not going to do any better, and he's going to get torched and destroyed by our defense. So,
the George guy.
Benjamin St. Juste is also going to have a pick in this game. So there you go. And I think that about rounds it out. So let's see. Anything else you want to talk about before I hit the music?
Whatever it is, I'm sure news tomorrow will be about Dan Snyder will be much more important than anything I could talk about at this point, because it'll be another day.
Yep. That being said, I'd like to give a shout out to everybody who is in the Peanut Gallery tonight. Ian28, Shanny, DJ Cool 4, CJack 17,
He's on the Colts.
Jeff Watts,
Nick
51.
Foles is on the Colts. I knew he was on the sideline of some team we were seeing. They shoot him. Yeah. Did we miss anybody?
No.
And if you guys want to check out our Discord channel, go to tinyurl.com/HarryHF. That's HARRYHF.
Give us a ring-a-ding-ding on the hog line, 202-735-1788.
It goes right to voicemail. People call to complain. People call to laugh. If it's funny, we'll put it on the podcast.
You can always send us an email. HHFpodcast@gmail.com. Reach us on Twitter @HarryHog. But hang out in the Discord room. That's where we usually are.
Yep.
Anyway, we'll talk to you guys next week. Hail to the Redskins. And if you see a Cowboys fan,
you know what to do. Gioco!